Hello there, Dr. Jimmy again, and this is my second video in my new series on Horror Nights Who's Who. And I previously did one for Pazuzu. This is going to be all about Chance, our new icon. And the reason I'm doing this is someone actually asked me yesterday, who's Chance anyway? Is she kin? And I guess she meant kin of people we already have, and I said we don't know who Chance's relatives are, but she's been Jack's girlfriend since 2007. And so I thought, well, then there's people who don't even know who Chance is and know nothing of the history of Chance, and perhaps I need to clear that up for those who know little about Chance. And I did a whole bunch of stories back in 2010. I did a whole bunch of videos explaining the icons for those who weren't familiar with them. And a lot of people may not be familiar with Chance, which boggles my mind because she was a big deal last year. So let's talk about Chance. Who is Chance? Well, Chance's origins go back to other characters that were never used at Horror Nights. If we go all the way back to the year 2000, Jack the Clown became the icon, was the big face of the event, very exciting for the event of Halloween Horror Nights 10. And they thought, how do we top Jack for 2001, right? How do we we do a new icon? Do we bring Jack back? Do we do something different? And they had a lot of different ideas. Eventually came up with Eddie Schmidt, Jack's younger brother, and that went through some evolution as well. First, Eddie was simply Jack ripping his face off, turning into Eddie. Then it was Edgar Sawyer, who would then kill and replace Jack. And then finally it was Jack's little brother, Eddie Schmidt, and then he got kicked out. The whole thing got booted, and we didn't see Eddie until 2004 because of 9/11. We've talked about that other times, I think, and someday I may go over who's who Eddie for those of you, but this is not about Eddie. It's about Chance. So, one of the ideas they had, and we're throwing around back in 2001 for the event that year, before they started doing the whole Eddie thing, they had another idea, and that was the idea of Jack the Clown having had a wife, but they had divorced apparently, or separated, and they'd split up, and there was animosity between them, and his wife's name was Jill. Jack and Jill, like going up a hill to get a pail of water or something, right? And Jill had the same flame orange-red hair, and it was more sexy looking girl clown, and she had a tattoo right here above her tracts of land, a tattoo of a heart cut, ripped in half, that said Jack on it, ripped in half, showing her divorce, I suppose. And she was Jack's angry ex-wife, and the idea was, again they're playing with the idea of a new icon killing off the old one. So Jill was supposed to kill off Jack and then take over Horror Nights, and the whole event would belong to her in 2001. They didn't really go much further in development. There's a lovely picture, a design by Kim Grommel, which has been posted around recently, and you can probably find it if you look good on various Facebooks and other Horror Nights forums. You might see a picture of Jill, and oh, that's Jill, very pretty. Okay, but they didn't use her then. They sort of put her on the back burner. Many years later, I think around 2007, they actually had a survey, one of those survey questions. What would you like to see this at Horror Nights? And they said, oh, one of the questions that year was, oh, would you like to see Freddy, Jason, and Leatherface come back again? Would you like to see an event that's all Stephen King? Or would you like maybe Jill take over the event? And they described, this new character, Jill taking over the event. And people, when they saw that, thought that maybe that's what they were actually going to do that year. But it wasn't. It was just a survey question. And the Stephen King one, of course, is out of the question anyway, because King won't allow it. They just want to see what the people's reactions would be. But they never used her, and they likely never will, you see. And they went through many years of different icons, some that didn't happen, and one that didn't happen, for 2005, one of the icons they came up with was a female icon named Fate, a sort of personification of fate and destiny, who had no eyes, blind Fate, and she ruled over Universal Studios Florida for 2005 as this icon. Of course, they decided to go with the islands, with a different concept. Eventually, that got scrapped, and they ended up with the Storyteller and the Terror Queen and Terror Quentis, all of that. So Fate was never used either. So, in 2007, the Carnival of Carnage, and Jack would return as the Ringmaster and all that wonderful stuff. They were going to give him his own show called the Carnival of Carnage. But they decided to add to the stage show a new character, a sort of female clown that would be Jack's sort of, you know, sort of like George Burns and Gracie Allen, basically, or Ricky and Lucy, or whatever, to have this sort of character to be a sort of foil, a sidekick, a companion, whatever you want to call it. This was also highly inspired, rip-off, highly inspired by the animated television program Batman, the Batman animated series, where the Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill wonderfully, had a beautiful female companion wearing a red and black suit called Harlequin, right? Get it? And that was sort of his. I guess they didn't want people to think the Joker was gay. I don't know. And maybe so. Whatever it was, they wanted to give him a girlfriend. And over the years, that character got developed and turned out to be Dr. Harlan Quinzel, who had been one of the Joker's doctors at Arkham Asylum, but rather than curing him of his insanity, she went crazy too. Mad love, right? So a wonderful character that came out of the animated series, eventually got put into the comic books and made into an official DC Comics character, and then started appearing in live media. For example, there was a TV show called Birds of Prey about the Huntress, the Black Canary, and I'm not sure. Batgirl was Oracle, and but I don't know if they used her. I don't remember seeing it. Occasionally, Batman showed up, but one of the villains that popped up frequently was Harley Quinn, Dr. Harlan Quinzel. So they used her on that TV program many years ago. And of course, she's coming up very soon later this year in the Suicide Squad motion picture. So it's a good year for Harley Quinn, I suppose. Anyway, so inspired by that, because the Jack's had some notes from the Joker after all. In that very first Carnival of Carnage show, we did hear Jack say at one point, "Where do you get a load of me?" And another point, he said, "Never rub another man's rhubarb." I mean, these were lines he stole from Jack Nicholson. I'm not saying James Keaton stole the lines, but he stole the lines from Jack Nicholson from the first Batman movie in 1989. So we do have definite Joker tropes and tendencies in Jack as well. I mean, Jack is inspired by all the evil clowns that have preceded him, from Pennywise to the man who laughs. You know, that old movie with Conrad Veidt back in Germany many years ago, and all these other characters, and even real-life killers like John Wayne Gacy, all rolled into one, with a bit of the Joker as well, of course. It's one of the more quintessential evil clowns, making him into the ultimate evil clown character. And so giving him this female companion called Chance. And Chance was performed by the same actress who played her last year, Erin Nicole Klein. Very good performance. And so she shows up as this crazy clown. And they had sort of a backstory that maybe Jack made Chance, that he created her, took an old china doll and made it come to life. But that was never really iterated. It was just sort of in the background, an idea that maybe that's who Chance was. And she went crazy with chainsaws and had a lot of fun in that first Carnival of Carnage show. Then we didn't see Chance again, and not that much of Jack, until 2010, when the whole 20 Years of Fear, and they brought all the icons back for the Fear Revealed Scare Zone. And when they brought Jack back, they had Chance right next to him, played by a different actress with different hair, but still Chance, clearly, and she had a lot of fun performing that character with Jack in that Scare Zone. So that was our second Chance. But our most recent Chance was Erin Klein again. She came back to play Chance with Jack last year, and she performed a magnificent performance in the Carnage Returns show, with wonderful one-liners we all remember. "What's so funny about a knife? Nothing! Except later on the last night, well, actually, there's a few things funny about a knife. The blood, the screams, a funny little sound when it tears the flesh. But you want to know my favorite part? Just the tip!" Yes. Gotta love Chance, you know. "Spitters are quitters, Amanda. Rude." Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I have my inner Chance coming through here. I'm possessed. No, Chance is remarkable. Stole the show from Jack half the time. brilliant performance. She got to be in a TV commercial with him. Aaron and James both went to Budapest last summer to shoot the TV commercial in Hungary. So it was wonderful. They had a great, get a trip to Europe from Universal for free. That was good for them. Excellent, and they got paid for it. Actually, it's better than free. My goodness, because they got hired, the actors working. So brilliant show, lots of fun, and that's what Chance has been up to now. So this year, Chance is back, and it's just a follow-up from last year, like a sequel. Chance has been imprisoned, and now, of course, we enter the theatre of her mind. But now you got a better idea of who Chance is. She was Jack's girlfriend all these years, at least since 2007, but she has her antecedents and ancient icons, well, in Horror Nights history, who never got used. First of all, Jill, but also Fate. I mean, why do you think they called her Chance? They picked the name out of a hat in 2007? Obviously, Chance was meant as some sort of homage to Fate, the icon that never got used. Eventually, Fate got transformed into Lady Luck, who had a lot of the attributes of Fate, although not exactly the same, but again representing the same concept of fortune. So Chance, in a way, is sort of a cousin of Lady Luck, you can, or somewhat offshoot, because they're both somewhat inspired by Fate, and at the same time, Chance is also, they used ideas they were going to use for Jill, so both of these have been incorporated into her. And some people think there's some relation to the original concept of Cindy, who had a burnt face behind a porcelain mask. And so they thought maybe that's what Chance is going to be this show, but not exactly. But there's that whole story of the porcelain doll, and I don't know if that's ever going to become canon for the character. But she appears to be a mortal human being who is able to be arrested by police and put into, I'm guessing, Shady Brook. I thought it may be because Mike kept saying prison recently, but if you look on the website now, you can clearly see the Theatre of the Mind, and then on the walls, on the which make up the rest of the image on the screen, they're clearly padded and even torn a little bit, where maybe she got pissed off and ripped at the padded walls of a padded cell. That implies a padded cell. That implies Shady Brook. So that may be where she's kept up, where her hubby-dubby lover Jack was once incarcerated many years before. So perhaps that's where she is, and it also makes me wonder, because even though the theatre of her mind allows her to free herself spiritually, and we're all going to get caught up in that theatre of the mind, the entire event, all 9 houses and various scare zones and shows will be set in the theatre of her mind, sort of, even the ones based on TV shows and movies, as well as original stories. That's all from Aiello's entry on the Halloween Horror Nights blog. I recommend you read it. But she's still actually in that cell the whole time. And the Jack-in-the-Box is on the evidence shelf, and Aiello said Jack will be in that box till someone lets him out. So my guess, I don't know this is a guess, is that maybe before the event ends, maybe on Halloween night, the last night of the event, someone will dun 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 dun, and maybe the little box will pop up and Jack will get out. And then Jack might get Chance out of jail like in Monopoly, and then she and Jack will be back together again, ready to come back at a future event someday for the 30th anniversary. I don't know, whenever. That's only 4 years away after all. So hopefully she won't stay locked up forever, because I don't want this to be our last chance. No. Let's dance, the last dance tonight. Oh, sorry, wrong song. Anyway, it's our last chance for romance tonight. Yes, you can make all kinds of fun. Here's an idea for merchandising. How about boxers, and for ladies, panties, little naughty frilly things with Chance's picture on them. They can call them Chance Pants. Ooh, that's not a good idea. No, they probably won't do that. And of course, a lot of people never wear them anyway, because Commando! That's enough of that nonsense. This is my Horror Nights Who's Who for Chance, and I hope you know more about Chance now. And if you don't, well, there's a chance maybe you'll learn it later this year at Halloween Horror Nights 26. Haha! So, to be resumed with my next Who's Who on Leatherface.